Now, I said in a couple of videos ago that I was in support of him staying in the race for a couple of reasons. One, it'd be easier for Trump to win. Two, they made this decision. They made this mess, the Democrats did, and to an extent, the Democrat voters, right? The primary voters did that twice, not once, but twice, chose Joe Biden over another candidate. They also could have primaried Biden with somebody legitimate this year, and they didn't. So I thought that they should stay the course with Biden, and of course, um, out now. Why did he decide to drop out? Was it solely because of his poll numbers, or was it the incompetence? I mean, those are two very, very good reasons to drop out. If it's the incompetence piece, why he dropped out, obviously he doesn't think he's incompetent, but everyone else on Earth knows that he's incompetent. If that's the case, if that was why they pressured him to drop out, then he should resign from the presidency as well. Because if you are not fit to, run a campaign, string together full sentences, you shouldn't have access to the world's largest nuclear arsenal. Just my take on the matter. But nonetheless, Joe Biden dropped out, so now they can shoehorn in either Kamala Harris. I've seen Hillary Clinton thrown out there. I don't think that's likely. Um, but she's a very arrogant woman, so she might just throw her name in the hat to get a rematch at Trump, and the results will be the same, probably worse, because she's universally unliked, as is Kamala Harris. Democrats are kind of in a bind. They're in a shambles right now because they did this to themselves. This is a self-inflicted wound. I can't beat this drum enough. They had an opportunity to elect somebody else or nominate somebody else in 2019 when you had 47 Democrats try to run for office and they were all standing on that debate stage. Marianne Williamson. I'm just saying these are options they could have chose instead of the old corrupt, decrepit, cognitive decline Joe Biden. They had people of color they could have chosen and they bypassed it. They chose Biden. They could have selected Bernie a couple different times. And again, I'm not in favor of any of these people's policies. I'm just saying they wouldn't be in the situation they were in right now had they nominated one of those other people. But they chose Joe. The establishment did. I think the establishment did, and Joe Biden was on the ticket, and everyone voted. The media programmed them to vote against Trump. They just voted for Biden. They didn't vote for Biden. They voted against Trump. Hence why his numbers suck. On top of the fact that the economy sucks, and we got wars, and the border is crazy, crime is crazy, inflation is crazy. So they led themselves to this point, and I'm actually disappointed that Joe Biden stepped down because I wanted to see a slaughter in November at the ballot box. Of course, got to clarify. There's a lot of crazy rhetoric right now. Some people try to take that literally, but yeah, guys, I won't make this long because there's probably so many other people reporting on it right now, but I had to chime in real quick, give my 2 cents. Like I said, I think Biden should have stayed in the race. He stood his ground at first. What I think really happened was the campaign donations dried up because he was taking the arrows from the media. The media was saying he should step down. Other Democrats were saying he should step down. He decided to stay in, but once he realized those dollars were going to dry up, um, you know, he probably made a business decision. It wasn't in favor of democracy and we got to save America. I'm doing this for my party. No, it had to do with the fact that his campaign donations dried up, probably from big donors and small dollar donors. It probably just completely dried up. So that is why he stepped down. Another reason why, at least the money, the fact that his poll numbers suck, and he just doesn't have it. He probably really wants to be on a beach in Delaware. He's reached the level of incompetence that's so bad that even his handlers can't keep him on task. He struggles with an impromptu speech. He struggles with, reading from a teleprompter, right? But the big question now, of course, is what's next? Is it going to be Kamala Harris, or is it going to be an open primary? You know, we all kind of knew this was coming. Um, the question is, will they do this? Will they announce it's Kamala before the DNC, or will they wait for the DNC and have an open primary? Will it be an outside candidate? Will it be Bernie? Will it be, I don't know. Who's going to join? Matthew McConaughey. There's got to be somebody who's been waiting in the wings for this to happen so they could swoop in. Now, will it change the results in November? No. In my opinion, no. However, I do think that they could potentially select somebody that will make the race closer, make the polls look closer. And if they can make it look close enough to where on election night, oh, the states they're just too close to call. We're just going to stop counting. It's after midnight on the East Coast. Everyone go to bed. We'll have the results in the morning. Everyone just take a deep breath, go to sleep. We're going to count these votes overnight and we're going to get there. Or they'll say, well, we'll resume counting in the morning. Basically, you guys pick up what I'm putting down, right? If they can just find somebody to build some momentum, because they don't have any momentum. They haven't had momentum for months, probably longer than that, but they don't have any momentum. If they can get back some sort of momentum, make galvanize the left wing base, make those swing states closer, Virginia, right? They got to get Virginia out of the toss-up category. Then once election time rolls around, I think they'll have what they wanted all along. And I'll leave that there because I'm already shadow banned enough as it is. But I just had to give you my 2 cents there. Give a shout out to some of the people in the chat, and then I'll jet out here. I hope you guys got to see me last night on Let's Be Frank. I was on his channel. We did a little live stream about 7 p.m. Eastern. Go check it out if you haven't already. I'll post a few clips from it later this week. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I might actually collaborate with him a little bit more just to get back in the groove, doing these live streams. Now, what are we up to? 4? I'm losing count now since I came back. I was gone for a good year and then jumped right back in because the time is now. We're less than 4 months away from the election, and we got shenanigans left and right. I mean, it was only 8 days ago that Donald Trump was shot, and now we got a whole new news cycle with Biden stepping down. And this is what they want. I think they want to distract everybody away, pull the attention away, pull the national conversation away to Democrats. Now, every headline, they're going to move beyond the shooting of Trump. Absolutely. You won't hear anything else about it. Not a single media outlet is going to talk about what happened last Saturday in Butler, Pennsylvania. So that's another big convenient thing. Joe Biden probably knew he was going to step down after the debate. But my conspiracy mind is turning now. If you're not a conspiracy theorist about something now, I mean, you're just eating whatever they put in the trough, and you just take it, buy it hook, line, and sinker. If you don't question anything, I mean, I'm just saying, you try to connect the dots here. Shoot, the debate was bad. Then you had pressure for Biden to step down. Then all of a sudden, Trump holds a rally, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard that was the first rally that was actually televised in 2 or 3 years, because Trump wasn't in office, so they didn't cover his rallies. But last week they did, and then we all know what happened. And now that failed, magically the next week Biden decides to end his campaign. So maybe Biden was holding out? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole, but the timing is interesting, because now and reports are coming out that there was more than one shooter, and there's just questions about Secret Service and everything else that had to do with that debacle last week. Now they have their distraction. So now it's like, hey, cats, look over here. Joe Biden stepped down. Who's next? So very convenient, right, guys? Anyhow, Charles Turner, what's going on? Buckle up, Patriots. Yep. Good to see you guys in here. Khaki Jade Q. I see you in there. Luciano, what's going on, Luciano? Debbie, good to see you. Paul, good to see you. P. Larkin, shout out to all the moderators too. Appreciate you guys being in here. Yeah, who's going to be next? I think logically, Kamala makes the most sense because she's already there. The only question is, does he step down from the presidency? Or is it just he's gonna step aside, continue running the country while Kamala focuses all her attentions on campaigning? So there's a couple different moving parts here. One, does he step down completely, or is he just stepping out of the race? Those are two different things. If he just steps down, is it going to be Kamala? Which he knows he just stepped down. Is it going to be Kamala? If so, who's going to be her running mate? Right? If you're just following any kind of logic with this, it would be Kamala, because all those campaign funds transfer to her. She's already on the ticket. She's already tied to the administration, so they'd be able to keep staff in place, assuming she was able to pull out a victory. But the next thing would be, who would be Kamala's running mate? My guess would be Josh Shapiro from Pennsylvania, the governor, because that's just strategic, not because he'd be the best guy, but because it would help them win Pennsylvania. I don't think it'll be Gretchen Whitmer. They're not going to do an all-woman ticket. They're just not. They're not. Could it be possible that Michelle Obama's her running mate? That would be actually powerful. I'm just looking through the Democrat lens right now. If I were a Democrat voter in this situation, who would I want them to select? If it has to be Kamala, who would I want her running mate to be? But in order to try to win, Michelle Obama would be strong, only because I think a lot of black voters would turn out for her, him, her, whatever you want to say. A lot of black voters would turn out for Michelle. I think Gavin Newsom would be a disaster. Who else would be good? Josh Shapiro, like I said, that would help strategically try to secure Pennsylvania, which they absolutely need if they're going to win, and it may not even be enough. That probably would put Virginia back in the lean Democrat column. That would probably take some states off of the table for Trump, not completely, but it would make it less likely that he has a real shot to win. Like Virginia, you guys have heard, like, oh, New York is close, New Jersey's close, New Hampshire, Minnesota. I think this change alone makes those states that much harder to win. Trump just needs to stick with his strategy, just going after the Rust Belt, the big three: Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. I think Arizona and Georgia are a wrap. But, I just think if it's Kamala, it's going to be, some people are thinking, oh, Pete Buttigieg. I just, I don't know if America's ready for that. Nope, we're not ready for that. We don't want that. I'm just not even going to say it. But yeah, Kamala and Pete together, that's a losing ticket, by the way. I don't think that's a very strong ticket. Who else out there? I don't know. I honestly can't think of any other person that she could reasonably select as a running mate that would put a dent in Trump's lead, because make no mistake, Trump is still leading Kamala in the head-to-head polls. So it's only slightly better than Biden in certain areas. And I don't think having Kamala, this is their predicament here. If they run with Kamala, yes, all those campaign funds transfer. However, so does the track record of this presidency. The legacy of this administration is now stuck with Kamala. So that includes the border, where she's borders are of, right? So that really, Trump will hammer her in a debate on that. So on one hand, yeah, it is better than Biden, but it's actually worse because she's going to have all the same baggage that Biden had tied to her. Somebody said Kevin Hart. Yeah, who's the most ridiculous person you could think of that would jump in? I don't know. The Rock, Oprah. I don't know. I'm just spitballing at this point. Who else would jump in? If you're thinking outside people, I don't see why some like young liberal entrepreneur jumps in, like an Andrew Yang. Say what you want about Andrew Yang, he doesn't have baggage. He's a political outsider. He had a real following. He didn't poll very well against the other 90 Democrats he was running against. But geez. Charles. Oh man, thank you for the super chat. Yes, Charles said the part that I didn't say. No, Mike, we aren't ready for booty gauge. On that note, I hope Obergenfell, I can't even pronounce it, or Hodges gets overturned. Let's say no to gay marriage. Dang it, Charles, you just got this video demonetized. Just kidding, who knows? Don't even care at this point. If you guys are just tuning in, though, please smash that like button. Give me a thumbs up on this stream. That's the only way to get this video in front of other people, is you gotta interact with it. So please hit the thumbs up if you haven't. If you're new, subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss a live stream when I go live spontaneously like I just did. Taylor Swift, that would be Taylor Swift would get the youngest of the voters out. Probably the youngest white voters, if we're just being honest here. The Swifties, there would be a lot of them. Matter of fact, Taylor Swift doesn't have to run. Whoever Taylor Swift endorses, those Swifties will just follow. Who does Taylor Swift think I should support? Done. I mean, I could really get on a tangent about that, how, you still have, whether people believe in God or not, or worship God, worship Jesus, they're worshiping something. I mean, you got people, the same thing with Beyonce. You got a bunch of like cult-like followers that worship them. Celebrity worship is crazy. I'll just say that. Jay-Z would not do it. LeBron James. I mean, those would be jokes of candidates. That would just be like they're already an unserious party, but that would just rubber stamp it. Like, this is who y'all replaced Biden with, somebody who no political background at all whatsoever. You have to wonder, do they even know about politics? Right? To that extent. Anyhow, I'm out of here, guys. I will catch you guys in the next stream. I got some things to do, but I just wanted to chime in here and talk about the fact that Biden has officially stepped down. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a victory for Trump either way, no matter what. I was just really hoping for a red wedding. Like, I wanted all the states to turn. I wanted Ronald Reagan type turnout, and that's what we would have if Biden had stayed in there. Now it's going to get a little bit more interesting. So I guess we'll have to stay tuned, and let's see where it goes from here. But appreciate everybody for tuning in. Again, give it a thumbs up if you haven't. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the notification if you haven't. Shout out to the super chatters, everybody that tuned in today. I'll catch you guys in the next stream.